Well, hello my friends, and welcome back to the rabbit hole. I feel like it's been a while, but we are coming back with a very exciting video today. We are talking all about new skincare releases for June of 2025. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Oh, I hope we have an absolutely wonderful Pride Month. I am going to be paying attention this Pride Month, let me tell you. And I'm so excited to tell you in today's video, we are bringing back the Is It Really New theme, which I think is going to be perfect for today's video. For example, have you ever used a magnetic cleanser? What about an eye cream that addresses bunny lines? I still don't know what bunny lines are. I don't want to look it up. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. This feels like something that could ruin my day. I like bunnies. And full disclosure, this whole video is PR. It leans a bit expensive, I have to admit to you. We have but one K-beauty product for this particular video, our AM skincare routine. We will have more coming in the PM skincare try-on equivalent. And as always, timestamps and links are in the description box below. My skin type is dry, acne-prone, and a bit sensitive. And let's kick off this video with some magnetism. Oh, Dermalogica is at it again. You know, speaking of Pride, what do you think Dermalogica would wear to Pride? I think that in spite of Dermalogica's supposedly sleek and modern packaging, don't kid yourselves, Dermalogica would be wearing the absolute least and most at Pride. I present my argument. This is called the Magnetic Plus Afterglow Cleanser. And here's what they're saying. Why a magnetic cleanser? Skin surface carries a negative charge, which is a challenge in getting active ingredients to cling to skin. Magnetic Afterglow Cleanser with positively charged hyaluronic acid acts like a magnet, helping skin to retain moisture and preparing it for the next steps in your regimen. Magnetism. This is the kind of thing that's so frustrating. I have no doubt at all that a whole bunch of you are watching this video going, what the heck is any of that? What kind of pseudoscience? And here's what's frustrating. This actually sounds like pseudoscience, doesn't it? But it's kind of not. Hold on, don't click away. I know some of you are going, oh, Alice sold out. This is a Dermalogica ad. It is not. What they're talking about in terms of skin having a charge, it's not wrong. I'll pull up some PubMed articles and show this to you. Yeah, that's a real thing. You really can positively charge ingredients and have a better chance of getting them deeper into the skin. The real question here is this really relevant? / is this product new? Okay, let me get to trying this. I say trying, but I've actually been using this for kind of a couple of weeks. I like this product. I don't love the marketing around it, but ultimately what this is it's a gentle cleanser. That's why I'm using it in the morning step. Here we go. Adding some water. Look at that. You don't see it foaming up. You see what Dermalogica is saying here, right? They're saying, oh, we put this positive charge on this hyaluronic acid ingredient so that it could help with hydrating your skin while you're cleansing. And you could probably see how gentle this is, right? If you are experienced with cleansers, you are not looking at that foaming effect right now. You can see this is a gentle cleanser. But is it gentle because of this negative, positive charge situation going on with the hyaluronic acid? Or is it gentle because they use gentle surfactants? Is it moisturizing because of this hyaluronic acid ingredient or because it contains 10% glycerin? All right, I'm gonna go rinse this off and continue this conversation. While I was rinsing my face just now, I started thinking about the cosmetic chemists who developed this. I feel like I just feel so bad for them. I feel like sales went to the cosmetic chemists and they said, hey, do you think you can make a really gentle cleanser, maybe something that is actually hydrating and moisturizing? And I feel like the cosmetic chemist said, yeah, you know what would be pretty neat is we could actually use positively charged ingredients to help get them deeper into the skin. There's actual citations for this. And then the stinking marketing team went, oh yeah, like magnetism for some reason. Because I've told other people in my life about this cleanser. Again, I actually like it. I'll come back around to my thoughts on it. But I've told them about how it's positively charged, hyaluronic acid, magnetic, and everybody that I have told this to has groaned. We have a 100% groan rate. But it is a nice, gentle cleanser. So I honestly don't know with this one. Is it just that my family and friends, and maybe many of you watching, are just absolutely not the demographic for Dermalogica and the type of people that would groan at that? Does Dermalogica's main audience hear magnetic cleanser and go, oh yeah, the thing that I've been wanting in my cleanser is magnets? My question just being, is this marketing really helping them, or is it hurting them? Because at the end of the day, the bottom line for everything here is, if our argument really is, let's get hyaluronic acid into the skin, why are we even talking about cleanser? Why not talk about, oh, I don't know, a hyaluronic acid serum? There's a novel idea. I can't even joke about that. I can't joke about that. Now, again, this isn't a video just to rave about products I get in PR. I like this. I think it's nice and gentle. It won't be for everyone because of the essential oils. I will tell you, my partner does not like this. She was actually complaining about this. She was saying it wasn't removing my makeup, and I was going, yeah, it's way too gentle for that. But again, it's not because of the hyaluronic acid. It's because of the full formulation. So the question, is it really new? Ultimately, even though I like this product, I'm just gonna have to say, I don't think it's new. I think there's a lot of gentle cleansers on the market, and I think that this whole approach with the magnets and the positive negative charge, I just can't help but wonder if it's hurting this product more than helping it. Time will tell. Let's move on to talking about some K-beauty. We have some new to Sephora K-beauty. It's so funny, this Hanyul brand has now landed at Sephora, and I was thinking about how I almost bought from this brand in my holiday Joel-C order. I had no idea that this company was coming to Sephora, and what actually talked me into taking it out of my cart is that I went, oh, I just don't know if there's enough interest in this brand. These are supposedly brightening toner pads. I do love the shape of them. Let me give you a better look at that. They say this has 5% niacinamide. It has some vitamin C, I would say in the form of 3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid, even though we see ascorbic acid in the ingredients list, where it appears does not instill confidence in that ingredient actually being at a high enough percentage to see the results from ascorbic acid. It does have some essential oil ingredients. In this product, I like that it's kind of a light smell. I will eventually, maybe, I might try their sleeping mask in the PM routine. That one smelled a little too strong for me. And I'm doing the quick toner pad method right now. I've actually used up quite a good chunk of these. It's just kind of a mess in there. I don't know if this happens to everyone with toner pads, but it happens to me a lot. Probably going through them quickly because I do stuff like this. It's 60 pads in here. How many did I just slap on? That is 5. Oh yeah, that's only 12 uses. This is why I don't love toner pads. That's 12 uses. And I saw someone on social media put one of these on top of their mouth. Wild, that is wild. I don't know if I want to do this. I don't feel like I will like the sensory experience. And how will I talk to you? This reminds me of that scene in The Matrix. This reminds me of bruxism dreams. Do any of you grind your teeth? I've actually talked about this on the channel before. If you grind your teeth, it's the wildest thing how you have just horrifying dreams related to that. I've absolutely had dreams that have been like that scene in The Matrix, and then I wake up and it's so realistic, and you feel pain in your jaw and realize you were grinding your teeth. Give me a few minutes, I'll suffer through this and come back with some thoughts. I just have to tell you, I am having the hardest time even figuring out what's going on with these. Not to say it's a bad product at all. I mean, obviously not for people that are avoiding essential oils, but it's a 5% niacinamide toner pad. And this is a video called, Is It Really New? I found some ads on TikTok, so I think that might be a direction Hanyul is going in, kind of just getting on the TikTok bandwagon. But even then, I still didn't feel very sold on the idea of these really being something special. So, brightening toner pads, $26, the most affordable product in this video. I mean, that's something that's going for it. Sephora products typically are expensive. But personally, for what it's worth, I also feel that Ulta is leading the way with the brand options. I just saw they got some by me as well. Manyo, Skin 1004, some by me. I just feel like Ulta actually is winning with regards to K-beauty brands right now. Okay, let's move on. I have a product to talk about from Dr. Dennis Gross. I feel like I was actually okay with this when I first started trying it. I've gotten myself more perturbed by the marketing. When I first got this in, it's an eye cream. We just recently did an eye cream declutter. It's a product where you apply it. La-da-da-da-da, got a lot of ingredients in it. I do mean a lot of ingredients in it. And that's a bit of a mixed bag. Those peptides are probably in here at effective concentrations, although one would still argue we still need more research into peptides. I think that the real idea behind this product is they want it to be something where it's treating everything. But can you really have an eye cream that does absolutely everything, or are you going to run into a situation where you kind of have to pick and choose? Let's watch an ad together. I assume an ad, this is something that they posted to their Instagram account.
Do you know that you're probably applying your eye cream wrong? I just turned 30 and I wish I would have taken some.
I gotta say real quickly, I absolutely hate that hook. It's such a common one of, oh, you're doing something wrong. I just talked about this when I did the, what is it, skincare propaganda I'm not falling for. You're probably not applying your eye cream wrong.
Seriously, in my 20s. Specifically, eye cream. This is the Dr. Dennis Gross Derm Infusions Fill and Repair Eye Cream. There are 6 points on your eye that you need to be applying it to. We've got under eyes, dark spots, crow's feet, your eyelids, levens, and bunny lines.
What does that mean? I mean, you saw me apply without thinking about this. I'm pretty sure I hit all 6 of these zones or whatever.
It's super hydrating, fills in fine lines, helps with dark spots and puffiness. I've been using it for a few weeks and have seen great results.
Once again, I just kind of feel like I don't know what I'm being sold here. I guess they're saying it's an eye cream that does it all, and what you're doing wrong is not applying in the full eye area. And it is true that you do have to make sure that you are using an eye cream that is safe for your eyelids. It's a very thin area. You don't want to just put anything there. But a lot of eye creams are safe for the eyelids. And a lot of people, I would argue most people using eye cream probably are applying it everywhere. I feel conflicted on this one because I do think it's nice. I just ultimately don't think you necessarily have to spend $64. If you want to, sure, seems like it's a nice eye cream. But I just don't want to do any of that pushing people into having to buy this because I don't think you need to. Is it really new? I just have to say I don't feel like it is. I personally feel like I've seen this kind of claims, this kind of ingredients lists a lot. Nice eye cream, I just don't think it's new. And this next product, I kind of want to move through quickly. I wasn't originally going to include this in today's video. I actually wanted to do the Cocoa Kind Electrolyte Cream. Instead, yet another expensive product, but I'm choosing this one for a reason. This is kind of an interesting conversation. This is the Hourglass Illusion Priming Moisturizer. First of all, I think that in 2025, we are definitely in the era where I think most people know that priming moisturizer, heck, even the idea of a primer, isn't anything that is necessarily different from a moisturizer. It can be, but a lot of products labeled as priming moisturizers are really more of moisturizers. What's interesting about this, though, is that if you're more of a makeup enthusiast, you might know how popular their original primer is. I think it's called the Veil Primer. A lot of people with oily skin really, really love that primer. And I gotta tell you, I think that this is the dry skin equivalent. As a person with dry skin, I feel qualified to say that. Look at this, you could see it's a heavy, almost greasy leaning moisturizer. See, I just said moisturizer instead of primer because I'm treating it like a moisturizer. It's a priming, it's a moisturizer. And do I think you need it? No, most of you do not need to worry about running out and buying this. It's heavy, but there's other heavy moisturizers for a lot less money, right? But I'm going to tell you what I do think is very interesting with this. I think that if Hourglass released this in 2017, 2018, I think this would be a hit. They're making claims of this, it's for dry and mature skin. It helps with fine lines, they say, and of course it does because a good hydrating, moisturizing product does absolutely decrease the appearance of fine lines, right? Simply by adding more water. It's such a core principle in skincare. But I just think that in the past 7 to 8 years, we have not only made leaps and bounds in terms of people not being sold products that they don't need. meaning a primer in addition to a moisturizer. But I also just think people are a lot more careful with their money now. Or maybe I should just speak for myself. I'm a lot more careful with my money now than I was in 2016, 2017. If you said this is a new $58 priming moisturizer in 2017, I would have bought it. But we are in such a different world now. The ultimate reason why I'm using this is because I'm going to use a mineral sunscreen next. And well, let me not get ahead of myself. Oh, look, you can see how heavy and dry skin friendly that is. I mean, it is nice. I do like it. It is also expensive, and technically, I don't know why it's 0.97 fluid ounces. Nice packaging though, glass, pretty packaging, gets fingerprints. Is it new? These ingredients are, boy, hyaluronic acid and ceramides. Not new. Nice product, but not new. And my friends, this brings us to our very last step today. In an AM routine, we always finish with sunscreen. And I am actually going to finish this routine with the new Merit Uniform. Listen, I've had such a wild time with this product. I got this, I think, around release day, maybe a few days after. And when it first came in, I got this and I just went, oh, a skin tint. So I was applying my Korean sunscreen. I was applying a little bit of this on top and I was thinking, oh, this looks great. Super light coverage though, not for anybody that wants coverage. Over time, I started to notice that people were really calling this a sunscreen. And I have some gripes here. I think that companies need to do a little better in communication. Love you, Merit, I really do, but, you know, I went on their Instagram account, and my goodness, the way that people are applying this makes me think it's a skin tint. I've got plenty of clips to show you what I'm talking about. You can see people just picking up a dab of this and then saying, what a great sunscreen. Multiple people over and over again, a dab of this, what a great sunscreen. As all of you watching this video know, as skincare enthusiasts know, this SPF on the packaging, in order to get that, you need to apply somewhere between a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon for your face and neck area. And I'm sorry, Merit, but this post that you have, this compilation of other people applying this, they are not applying SPF of 45. I did see Charlotte Palmer show up, and she actually does use 2 fingers with this sunscreen. Now, here's where the controversy comes in. She said she likes it. She said that after 20 minutes, it looked great on her. I watched Dr. Dre's review on this, and she did not have a good experience. So now let's talk about my experience wearing this as a sunscreen. And I've got out our 1/2 teaspoon measure here. And now I can tell you, this is why I picked this moisturizer, because there's a catch with mineral sunscreens. You know, a lot of people say they want mineral sunscreens, and a lot of people gripe about how so many of them are drying. And then some people say that they break them out, right? Probably the 2 main concerns with mineral sunscreen. Look at this. The amount that the people on Merit's Instagram were applying. Oh no, we haven't even made a dent in it. The problem with zinc oxide is that it is a drying ingredient. I just wish more people would talk about that. And because it is drying, a lot of companies add in ingredients to make it feel more moisturizing. And because some of those ingredients are pretty heavy, I think that's why some amount of people do report breaking out from mineral sunscreens. Then, of course, you have that obvious, there is a chemical filter-like ingredient in here, that butyl salicylate. I feel so surprised with the way that conversations have gone regarding that. I felt like when people discovered that there was this chemical filter in their mineral sunscreens that they've been using for years and years, I thought people were going to go, oh, that's proof that not all chemical filters are the same. Bless my little heart, though, because instead people have been pretty upset about that. And I get that. If you are somebody who is allergic to butyl salicylate, it probably is quite frustrating that it's in all of these mineral sunscreens. But I just feel like some people avoid chemical sunscreen because of the word chemical, you know, even though water is a chemical. We've talked about this. Okay, so I have definitely applied the amount, if not more, as you saw some of those people applying over on Instagram. Do you see how it looks good, though? It really does look good. My theory with this tinted sunscreen category is I think that I think that most people probably apply this a little heavy, but by a little heavy, I mean about that much. And they think that's an SPF of 45, and it's just not. It's not an SPF of 45. In some good news, I will say that I saw Lab Muffin point out that sunscreen may not be logarithmic in the way that we thought it was, which basically means we used to think that if you underapplied sunscreen, it was just as bad as not applying it at all. And that's probably not the case. It is probably a little bit more of a linear relationship. I'll link her article about this. That's great news. I think that that easily explains why some people probably have been applying half the amount of sunscreen. If they use an SPF 45 or SPF 50, you know, they're getting some sun protection. That's why back in the day, dermatologists used to recommend a sunscreen of SPF 15. However, they've amended that because people were under applying. So I guess the logic now is recommend an SPF of 50, people will still probably under apply, and maybe they're getting somewhere between SPF 15 and 30. Okay, so at this point, this is starting to feel pretty heavy, maybe starting to look at 2. I've still got some to apply, but I've been working around with this, I've been playing around with it, and I have to say, this is actually doable. The one problem I noticed is that I did have creasing on my eyelids. So I am gonna have to be a bit extra careful about that, and it does take a long time to apply this amount of sunscreen. Especially in a mineral tint where, you know, remember what zinc oxide looks like. It is a thick white powder. For companies to even use that at 15% in products and make it something that is at all doable is actually pretty impressive. I did not think that I was going to tell you I really like this. I don't like it more than K-Beauty sunscreen. I don't. But I have to say, I do actually feel like this is probably the best version of a tinted mineral sunscreen that I've ever seen. Oh my gosh, how have I forgotten the most important part of this? The most important part of this is that they have released 15 shades. They did it right. Have you all seen the latest drama with Tower 28's mineral sunscreen? They released one shade and called it Universal. Oh, Tower 28. I'm on my last layer here, but it's a slow application. However, I am building this up to SPF of 45. All right, now for the final buffing into my skin. If I hadn't already been playing around with this for as long as I have, I would tell you that this feels heavy and awful. Because it does. Right now it feels heavy and awful. Which is so funny, as one of their claims is that this feels lightweight. But again, I have been trying this. This is not a first impressions video, and so I know that even though it feels heavy right now, strangely enough, this actually does start to feel lighter on my skin through the day. Now, the biggest problem I had is that it felt a little drying at the end of the day, and again, that's why I picked a super heavy-duty moisturizer for under this. But let's let this sit on my skin for a bit. Should I add powder? I actually have added powder a few times. It just adds to the drying sensation. I'm gonna leave it alone for today. But let me get in up close so you can see. I mean, I didn't expect to like this as much as I do. Again, the whole theme of this video is it really new? And I was gonna say, no, I'm so tired of mineral sunscreens, tinted mineral sunscreens where you can't apply as much as I did today, but I applied the correct amount of this. And it doesn't look bad. Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot. I keep forgetting. I want to throw in this Dior Addict Lip Glow Butter. I think this is the funniest thing. I have seen so many people say that the reason they bought this is this charm. And then I've seen so many people say that they've decided to return this product. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm actually starting to feel lip gloss fatigue, lip balm fatigue. It's almost just too much at this point. No, not at this point. It was too much in October of 2024. How many lip balms can possibly exist in the universe? And I'm not sure there's much that stands out about this. You know, it's got that first ingredient that is your vegan lanolin. And then it's got that minty feel that it's been around for a while. I also noticed this has some negative reviews from people who've been saying that the tube isn't full. I am so tired of seeing that. I gotta get mad at y'all on this one because that's just not how products are made. You're not getting shortchanged by companies. They make it so you can squeeze out the product. If this was completely full, it would be a disaster all over your shirt the first time you go to use it. 10 milliliters, which is 0.34 fluid ounces, which is actually kind of a bigger product. Not huge or anything, but on the bigger side of things. I've seen plenty of lip balms that are more of 0.1 fluid ounces. I think the only new thing here is the charm and friends. This is just my opinion, but I do not think you need to buy a lip balm because the company put a charm on the packaging. I can't believe that's been working. How has that been working for some of y'all? How? Please explain this one to me. I'm too much of a negative Nancy to understand this one. We're coming up to the end of this video. I'm gonna have to say, Merritt, you won my heart in today's video. This is my favorite for today. I was about to fix it, but let me show you because I want you to get an accurate portrayal of this. See this creasing right here? That is the place where I've noticed creasing with the Merit sunscreen. No eye irritation, but I have noticed that creasing. I feel like we tried on a lot of products that are fine and just kind of expensive. Right? That's really, honestly, kind of a theme of a lot of high-end makeup and skincare. We had some interesting conversations today for sure. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. I hope you all have a wonderful week and a wonderful Pride Month. And I'll see you all next time.